net.
Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KDA-VYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Vandals destroy an Oklahoma radio tower. Text messaging from space is now a reality. And learn about a Cold War bunker that's still getting on the air. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2412 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. And now reporting from Valparaiso, Indiana, here's Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
We begin this week's report with the deliberate destruction of a radio tower in Oklahoma. The tower is the most visible sign of an active radio station, and this tower belonged to a commercial broadcast station, subsequently knocked off the air by thieves seeking copper. Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB, story.
Country music station K95.5 suddenly and unexpectedly went silent on the 15th of January, its tower in ruins in a field not far from its Oklahoma studio. As the Choctaw County Sheriff's Office began its investigation, Will Payne of the Payne Media Group, which owns the station, assessed the scene, which he described in a Facebook video as one of catastrophic damage. The video showed the tower down in the field, its guy wires cut as a means of taking its top section down. The nearby generator had been totaled. Wires were ripped out everywhere. The transmission lines, containing a wealth of copper on the inside, had been cut in several places. Payne Media Group made an appeal on Facebook to listeners and to the public in general to be on the alert for anything that might provide the sheriff with additional clues. As Newsline went to production, it was not clear when the station with the call sign KITX would be back on the air serving northeast Texas and southeast Oklahoma. Listeners were being directed to its streaming programs at K955.com. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
Newly launched Starlink satellites have successfully been put to the test, making text messaging from space a reality for SpaceX. We have the details from Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
It works. Text messages have been sent successfully on a mobile phone network in the U.S. using the Starlink satellite service. The test of the direct-to-device, or D2D service, took place on January 10th using the network of T-Mobile USA. This was the first step in realizing the plan by SpaceX to bring this service to a wider commercial market. The trial run took place only days after Starlink's first satellites for D2D were launched and deployed. The company declared shortly afterward, quote, "The system works," unquote, adding that it has partnerships as well with mobile operators in Australia, Japan, and Canada. Commercial availability is expected to begin later this year, and the company is hoping voice, data, and service for the Internet of Things will commence in 2025. The premiere of D2D via Starlink comes as a number of manufacturers of smartphones are preparing to produce devices with D2D service as well. Apple's iPhone already makes this service available with the iPhone 14 in partnership with satellite operator Globalstar. This is Kent Peterson, KC0, DGY.
In just a few weeks, hams in Australia who previously held an apparatus license will become holders of the new class license. Graham Kemp, VK4BB, has that update.
The Australian regulator has sent letters to hams announcing that the transition to the new class license structure takes effect on the 19th of February. The letter permits hams with valid apparatus licenses to continue operating under the same band and license conditions as before, and assures hams who renewed the apparatus license after the 9th of December that they are eligible for a prorated refund if they surrender the apparatus license on or after February 19. The ACMA plans to check every 5 years that assigned call signs are still being used as authorised. Calls with a 1-year expiry, such as special event call signs, and those calls with a VK0 or VK9 prefix will receive additional instructions in February regarding either renewals or expirations. These changes, which the regulator announced last year, also mean that there are no fees for the licenses. The ACMA will also take oversight of the administration of amateur radio license exams and call sign issuance, previously delegated to the Australian Maritime College. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
The FCC is giving greater privileges on 6 gigahertz to very low-power devices. Jack Parker, W8ISH, tells us what's going to happen next.
Following a recent FCC ruling that allows VLPs, very low power devices, to operate on many of the 6 gigahertz frequencies, the regulator is seeking comments on additional rules that would grant higher power VLPs access to the band as well as under certain operating conditions. The rules for short distance operation over high connection speeds take effect on the 4th of March. Businesses including Amazon, Microsoft, Hewlett-Packard, and Google have been eager to make use of this part of the spectrum, which will become home for IoT, or Internet of Things, applications. These include wearable devices, short-range mobile hotspots, healthcare monitors, virtual reality devices, and in-car connectivity. Innovation, however, is expected to rev up among businesses who have been waiting for this kind of spectrum availability. The FCC has asked for comments on the proposed rules to be submitted no later than the 7th of February, with reply comments to be filed no later than the 8th of March. 2 of the main questions under consideration are whether high-power VLPs should be given access to additional parts of the 6 gigahertz spectrum and whether a higher power class of VLPs should be established. A link to the FCC document appears in the text version of this week's Amateur Radio Newsline report. This is Jack Parker, W8ISH.
The 40th anniversary conference of amateur radio on the International Space Station features a lineup of 3 influential astronauts. The latest to be added to the lineup is NASA's Tony England, W0ORE, who is the first astronaut to transmit slow-scan TV from orbit, and the second astronaut to operate amateur radio from space. Tony joins the program with the conference keynote speaker, Richard Garriott, W5KQW, son of NASA's own Owen Garriott, W5LFL, the first ham to make a QSL from space. The group also includes Bill MacArthur, KC5ACR, who played an active role in the shuttle amateur radio experiment. The conference is being held at the Kennedy Space Center from the 22nd to the 24th of February. Its focus is on the positive impact of ham radio on human spaceflight. Winter Field Day is a worldwide event that is taking place on January 27th and 28th. Despite its name, participation should leave you with a good, warm feeling, as Patrick Clark, K8TAC, explains.
Preparedness counts more than points do during Winter Field Day, and organizers are encouraging ham radio operators worldwide to use the opportunity to sharpen their portable emergency communication skills. Snow, ice, freezing temperatures, and other cold weather hazards are part of the environment as hams get on the air using HF, VHF, and UHF bands and via digital voice. This year's bonus points are being reclassified as objectives, and anyone activating is being encouraged to achieve as many objectives as they can. The maximum power allowed is 100 watts PEP, and stations operating QRP are encouraged to transmit at less than 5 watts on CW and less than 10 watts on phone. The organizer, the Winter Field Day Association, is also encouraging the use of WinLink emails. Although the basic exchange contains simply call sign, location, class, and category, operators are being asked to consider including temperature, weather conditions, and signal reports. For details or to register your station, visit winterfieldday.org. That's one word, winterfieldday.org. This is Patrick Clark, KATAC.
It's time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the KV3B repeater in Rockville, Maryland, on Sundays after the net at 7:30 p.m. local time. With October's eclipse behind us and April's eclipse ahead of us, the Citizens Scientists group that has been studying both is inviting hams and researchers to its next workshop to discuss some findings. Andy Morrison, K9AWM, tells us how to get on board.
Professional scientists and radio amateurs are being invited to HamSci's 6th annual workshop, which will present findings yielded by ionospheric data collected during the annular solar eclipse last October. The workshop will be held on March 22nd and 23rd at Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio. The Citizen Scientists Research Group will also share how it is getting ready for the solar eclipse taking place on the 8th of April. This will be a total eclipse for the Cleveland area. The program will include a discussion about how a college curriculum can successfully integrate studies of amateur radio. Ham radio has been at the forefront in much of the research being done by HamSci, which is examining ionospheric disturbances, sporadic E, geomagnetic storms, solar flares, and, of course, eclipses. For details about HamSci, its work, and the workshop, visit hamsci.org. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
The World Radio Sport Team Championship has just received a major financial boost from a private foundation that will help the next event prepare for 2026 in England. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, tells us more.
The organizing committee of the World Radio Sport Team Championship 2026 has received a $7,500, about £5,900 grant from the Yasmi Foundation to support this goodwill gathering of the world's top amateurs. WRTC 2026 will be held using 50 operating sites in the counties of Norfolk, Cambridgeshire and Suffolk in the UK. The private foundation's gift recognizes the opportunity the WRTC offers to engaging top competitors from around the globe and providing a venue that showcases the skills as well of youth operators. The event taking place in June 2026 will be the 10th WRTC. The previous worldwide competition, WRTC 2022, was held in Italy in 2023, delayed 1 year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Meanwhile, organizers of the World Radio Sport Team Championship stirred up even more enthusiasm and support for the event by announcing that a bronze coin, the first of 3 in a series, is being made available to donors for contributions of £100 or more in 2023 and 2024. The announcement was made on Monday, January 15th by Mark Haynes, M0DXR, Chairman and Program Manager, appearing on Tonight at 8, a live-streamed webinar of the Radio Society of Great Britain. In the world of DX, listen for Felix, DL5XL, who is on the air as DP1POL in Antarctica, IOTA number AN016, from the German research station Neumeier 3. He is using mostly CW with some digital modes and single sideband. He's on the air until the end of the month. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Special event call sign AT3SM is being activated during a multi-club joint IOTA de-expedition to the rarely activated St. Mary's Island, IOTA number AS-096. This island has not been activated in 6 years. The hams operating from the 26th to the 28th of January are from 3 organizations: the National Institute of Technology Radio Club, the Mangalore Amateur Radio Club, and the MIT Radio Club. They will also be participating in the National Field Day of the Amateur Radio Society of India. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Between the 24th of January and the 6th of February, Keith G3WRO will be operating holiday style as 8Q7WR from the Maldives, IOTA number AS013. Listen for Keith on 40 through 10 meters, possibly on 80 meters, and he will be using single sideband. QSL via his home call. Kevin W1DED is active until the 21st of January as W1DED/C6A from Eleuthera, IOTA number NA001 in the Bahamas. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Listen for Tom, NA2AA, throughout the year. He is on the air with the call sign NA67AA in honor of 67 years of being on the air as a ham radio operator. QSL via his home call. Our final story this week takes us underground, where one amateur radio club puts a Cold War era relic to good use. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, introduces us to that club.
A Cold War era bunker that was one of the last to be taken out of service in the UK in 1991 has become a base for a ham radio club on the North Yorkshire moors. Like so many radio operators before in the Royal Observer Corps, the hams are surrounded by concrete walls 5 meters deep into the underground as they transmit important information and take measurements. Now, however, its signal reports they're sending to other hams, not levels of radiation that would have followed the dreaded nuclear blast. The station GB0ROC of the Guisborough District Amateur Radio Club is underground radio at its finest. Like the other bunker sites, this location was once a secret. Now you can't miss its high visibility on the map of various amateur radio award schemes. It's part of the Bunkers on the Air scheme as BG0919, within Parks on the Air number G0003, Worldwide Flora and Fauna Area GFF0012, and Worked Hall Britain Square NZ60. Its video on YouTube also shows how the club welcomes visitors who walk in or, in this case, climb in, since access to the radio room requires careful descent down a metal ladder. The bunker is a restored symbol of history of a time when the world was on edge. Now its business of radio activity is simply just that, friendly activity on the radio. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
A link to the video can be seen in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. If you have a piece of amateur radio news that you think Newsline would be interested in, send us a brief overview via the contact page at arnewsline.org. If it's newsworthy and we'd like to cover it, we'll get back to you for more details. Meanwhile, if you're feeling even a little bit poetic, visit our website to learn more about the Amateur Radio Newsline Haiku Challenge. We've started a new year and a new challenge. Use the entry form on our website and please follow the rules for the proper number of syllables when writing your 3-line haiku. And be sure to check out our previous winners. With thanks to the ACMA, Amateur Radio Daily, Amateur Radio Digital Communications, AMSAT, ARIS, the ARRL, CQ Magazine, CNBC, David Behar, K7DB, 425DX News, the FCC, HAMSI, Pun Cassidy Now, QRZ.com, shortwaveradio.de, the WIA, Winterfield Day Association, YouTube, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer nonprofit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operations. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO in Valparaiso, Indiana, saying 73. As always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2024. All rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 10 minutes.
That was probably one of the better sounding transmissions of Newsline I've heard on this machine. WA4WGA.
I moved the speaker closer to the microphone, so hopefully it'll continue. KD8VYT.
There for a minute, I thought you were running it through an audio console, but it was that close.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to use an audio console, but I run it from my computer to my radio with about 8 inches of space between there.
I was doing it for the club I was in North Carolina. I used a program called Echo Station. And I ran it through Echo Station. From the radio to Echo Station. And I always had to make sure I disconnected the microphone. Otherwise, unfortunately, the microphone was live. And if I sat my coffee cup down on the desk, you could hear it.
I don't drink coffee, so I don't use a coffee cup. I have a plastic cup, and I think there's enough buffer between the microphone and my cup that doesn't come out. So anyway, I gotta go get my dinner. This is KD8VYT 73.
Hi, sir. Have a good day. WA4WGA.
W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater. PL110.9.
Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is Frank. My call is W8EZT, but for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call, Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open, directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, to enhance net operating practices, and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by amateur radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with some announcements and ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that's complete, we'll start taking check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time. I'll confirm the call before moving on to the next. Once I've got 5, we'll process through them, then take another 5 and repeat that until we're done. If you're a regular participant, let me pause here for a second. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give me your call, repeat it phonetically, followed by your name and location. When all check-ins have been worked, we'll close the net after repeating the announcements. We also operate an HF plus 6 band exploration net starting at 9:30 p.m. tonight. We'll be on 40 meters, typically somewhere around 80 meters, typically around 3.827, but I'll have to figure that out exactly. Listen around and see what we've got. If you have the equipment and the permit and the privileges, we sure would appreciate you checking in. All right, I do have a trivia question tonight, so let me go ahead and start with the announcements, and then we'll go through the question. All right, coming up this Wednesday, January 24th, we are having our activity meeting for January. It'll be held at Pilgrim United Church of Christ in downtown Cuyahoga Falls. Big white church with a big white tall steeple. We'd appreciate your attendance if you can make it. It will also be Zoomed, so if you can't make it, go to our calendar, click on the meeting link, and you can join us via Zoom. We appreciate your attendance. The topic will be setting up Echolink on your computer and phone. Anthony will be presenting it, and this is in preparation for us adding Echolink functionality to our repeater, which should be available within another month or two. I expect to start testing in the next couple of days, so we hope to see you there. Saturday, January 27th, is a VE session at the Cuyahoga Falls Library. If you or anybody you know wants to upgrade their license, this is a great time to do it. It's Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. Try to be there about 15 minutes early. Pre-registration is required. You can get there off a link from our homepage, cfarc.org, so please consider that if you want to do a license upgrade. This is also Winter Field Day weekend, and I will have an announcement coming up here about that in a second. This is also Winter Field Day weekend, so consider working even if from home in Winter Field Day. February 14th is our business meeting. We need to get a quorum together. We want to spend some money on a new antenna for the repeater. You've probably been hearing the scratching and popping in there. We believe that's our station master, and after 40 valuable years of service, it does need replacing. And finally, February 28th is our activity meeting. Don't know what the topic will be yet, but we're leaning towards an antenna build project, possibly another antenna-related project. So if you're new to ham radio, if you've been newly licensed, by all means, you're going to want to tune that in, whether in person or through Zoom. Okay, I do have a trivia question, so as you check in, if you'd like to try to answer the trivia question, appreciate it. We'll announce at the end the person who got it right, and it's a multi-part question, so let me go ahead and read that in. I think everybody is familiar with international Morse code. Some people are actually very, very adept at using it. Others have heard of it and heard it, but don't know it that well. The question is, what is the most recently added symbol to the international Morse code? What was the most recently added symbol to the international Morse code? And it hasn't happened in the last year or two. It's older than that. Okay, those are about the only announcements I have. Do we have any announcements from officers or club members of general interest to the whole club? Go ahead now. Okay, I will make one announcement then. We have been looking at possibly doing Winter Field Day. There's a small dedicated group of people that would like to do it. As I look at the upcoming weather and the need for me to be able to move equipment around in my yard, I'm afraid I'm just not going to be able to get a trailer safely in and out of there. My yard is solid right now, and I can move equipment around on there, but once this thaw hits tomorrow and we get anywhere from 3 to 5 days of rain, depending on who you're looking at, my yard will be too soft to be able to pull in there with a trailer and turn things around, and that would leave my only source of transportation, my truck, locked in there. It has to do with the only path that has stones on there. It won't sink in. So I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to contribute my trailer to Field Day this year. There will be email going out to Field Day participants, potential participants on that as soon as I get done with the net here. So that's all I've got then. All right, I guess we have no other, so let me go ahead and get a new page up here, and we'll start taking check-ins. W8VPV looking for check-ins. Go ahead now.
K8HMS.
X-ray Oscar.
All right, I got you, Steve, and I got somebody ending in Oscar.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-ray Oscar.
All right, got you, X-ray Oscar. Another one.
P8 KVI.
K8 KVI. Got you, Ron. Next.
WO3X Victor, Quebec X-ray.
All right, I got you, John, and I got a VQX. What was the prefix and the name, please?
Kilo Echo 8 Victor, Quebec X-ray. It's Joe in Akron.
Joe, I should have you memorized by now. Sorry about that. Got you in there. And all right, we'll head back to the top. Steve, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, WAVPV in the net, K8HMS. Before I go on here, you got me okay, Frank? I'm on the 440 side.
Yeah, coming in with a little bit of noise, but fully readable. Go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. Well, good evening to you. Good evening to everybody. Glad to hear guys checking in on all that. Yeah, I've missed the net the last couple weeks here, you know, part of it the holidays and all that. And hope everybody did have good holidays. But other than that, yeah, not much been going on. Just kind of hunkered down here with this goofball cold weather. But finally got out a little bit today and got the dog for a walk. And hadn't got my first contact of the year today. I've been playing around with that Clipperton Island Expedition, so got a hold of them. Other than that, I guess that's about it. So back to you, K8HMS.
Very good, Steve. Good hearing in there, and glad you made it through the holiday season. Rough on my waistline. I had to let it out another belt notch, but now I'm going to start trying to cut back on what I eat and shake some of this. I'm going to be in to see my doctor soon, and she's not going to be happy with what I've done to my weight either, but that is what it is. Very good, Steve. Good hearing in there. Hopefully we'll see you at one of the meetings one of these days. Always good to see you in person. All right, AC8XO, Vince, and I should make the announcement also that newsletter articles are due on the 27th, and I'm not sure what I'm going to say yet, but I'll try to come up with something. Go ahead, Vince.
All I can do is laugh, Frank. All I can do is laugh. First off, if you need a beta tester for Echolink, I've been on Echolink for a while. I don't use it much, but I would be willing to help with beta testing from the house here. As for your trivia question, I'm going to say the @ sign, and as for anything else, you already said the thing that I needed to say, so who cares? Alpha Charlie 8 X-ray Oscar, back to net. Have a good day.
All right, very good, Vince. And yes, you are correct. The latest symbol was the @ sign. As we move along, we're going to modify that question a little bit. When was the @ sign officially recognized by the ITU as a international Morse code symbol? So let's see. Next up is Ron, KE8KVI. Go ahead, sir.
Frank and everybody out there in radio land. Yeah, I was going to say @ sign as well. Not that I know anything about Morse code, but I really know the English language, and that's the only one that made sense. As far as when they added it, no clue. As far as what the Morse code is for it, no clue. Other than that, been a busy day working on technical stuff. Some worked out well, some not so much.
Yeah, that's what it is. If everybody could do it, there'd be no need for specialists. So Well, good luck. Good hearing you in there, and hope to catch you in person later on this week sometime. Next up, John, WO3X.
Good evening, Frank, and all on the net. This is WO3X. Regarding Winter Field Day, I'll just do like I did last year. I went over to a spot there, about 1.5 miles from my house, and I had registered that spot with the organization, and I operated, I think, until midnight, and it worked out okay. I just did like 40 meters, 20 meters, and 10 meters. I'm not sure if I did 15 meters. So it was fun. I'll have to see if I can find my sign there that I put in the windshield. The police rode by a couple times last year and saw that. But I had also called the police department and told them I was going to be there.
Very good, and certainly a good idea. At least they won't be surprised when they show up wondering what's going on and what's with all the antennas and the wires and everything like that. Yeah, as I say, you know my lot. I've got that gravel path from next to my garage that goes back to my barn, and if I get off that, if the yard's reasonably firm, it's fine, but I'm afraid backing in there with a trailer and trying to maneuver trailers around, I'll end up sinking my trailer and or my truck in there, and while I can probably, then I can get a boat out and try to drag it out with that, it takes a lot more effort than I think is justified. And it's too late anyway, really. I've had some other issues that have been taking my attention, and I haven't been able to put time into it. So I'm disappointed this year, but hopefully next year we can get back to doing a 24-hour field day session out there.
Yeah, very good. And what's funny is while I was there, this woman came along and wanted me to drive her to 1900, I think was Victoria Street, and I was on the parking lot for the Still School, which is gone now. The school's gone, but I told her I'm not driving anywhere. That I had a long antenna on the trunk lid mount, and I wasn't going to drive anywhere. And about a half hour later, the police came by asking me if I saw such a woman, and I told them and what she wanted me to do, and so they said, "Oh, okay." So I'm not sure what the story was there, but that woman seemed like she was up to no good. So with that, I looked up the date for that, so I'm not going to say it for that but I don't know what the dots and dashes are for it. So with that, back to the net. This is WO3X.
Right, very good, John. Boy, you meet some of the strangest people in ham radio. You also meet some really good people, so I guess it's a balancing act. Yeah, I'm glad she wasn't a bigger threat or annoyance than she was then. But, all right, very good, John, and well, certainly good luck doing Winter Field Day. If I have spare time and I need that I can put towards the club, I'm going to focus on getting this Echo Link issue resolved. All right, next up is KE8VQX. Joe, go ahead, sir.
W8VPV, this is KE8VQX. Hello, Frank, and hello, everyone on the net. Boy, it's good to hear everybody. I've been gone for a while for work, and actually just walked in the door, so still in my work clothes, and had to sit down and try to partake. Just feels good to do so. Anyway, as far as the trivia question, I have no idea. I did guess the @ sign. As far as the other parts of the question, I really have no idea. I don't do Morse code, although I would like to at some point. I haven't gotten around to that yet. Anyway, hope everyone has a nice night. Once again, be great to hear everybody, and we'll talk to you again soon, I hope. This is KE8VQX, back to net control.
Good, Joe. Good signal into the repeater. Full quieting and no noise on it at all. So whatever you got there for setup, you're doing good then. All right, very good. Well, I'm at the bottom of the list, so let's see if I can get 5 more check-ins. This is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday night, VHF UHF net. Go ahead now.
November 8, November Hotel. Mark in Akron, in and out.
Got you in and out, Mark. Next. Somebody on the UHF side, a lot of noise in there. Try it again. I'll turn up the volume.
KV8VHK, John and Kenmore.
Hey, I got a Victor Hotel King John and Kenmore. What was the call prefix, please?
Kilo Bravo 8.
Kilo Bravo 8. Got you in there. I'll be right back to you, John. Next. Okay, I got the very last syllable of that. Hold the button down, wait a second or two, and then try it again.
Kilo Echo 8, Yankee Tango Golf. Stephen Stowe, in and out.
All right, I got Yankee Tango Golf, Steve, in and out also. Thank you very much. Appreciate you stopping by. Next.
W8VPV, this is November 8, Bravo Alpha Yankee, Ralph and Stowe, in and out.
All right, Ralph, got you in there. Let's see, that was N8BAY, I believe. Appreciate that. Thanks for stopping by. Next.
KA8WTK.
Wow, huge signal. KA8WTK. Got you, Bill. Let's see, I got 1, 2. Everybody's in and out. I got you, Bill. Next.
KE8ULA, Leo, in and out.
All right, Leo, got you in and out. Tell you what, I got 2 people here right now. I got KB8VHK, John and Kenmore. Go ahead, sir. Right again, John, the repeater ID got on top of you there. I'm sorry, John. Right now, you're barely able to get into the machine. It's usually pretty sensitive, but I've seen from terrain analysis that the southern part of Summit County drops down just before Kenmore, and there's kind of a radio shadow there. I don't know if you have 2-meter capabilities. You might be able to get in better on the 2-meter side, but that could be a problem also. I do have you in the log. If you can either up your power or maybe try a different location, maybe up on another floor or something, please come on back, check back in, and we'll see if we can get a better copy on you then. But thanks for checking in, John. Appreciate that. And let me move on to Bill, KA8WTK.
VPV, KA8WTK, Bill and Talmadge. Good evening, Frank, and everybody else out there. Not much going on. We're now in week 5 of the shingles. I don't know that they'll ever go away. It's terrible. If you haven't, soapbox for a minute, if you haven't got the shot, get it. You don't want these. Radio-wise, I've been doing some little projects out here, not so much radio-wise, as more like electronic-wise, break for time. And looking forward to next year when Windows 10 is no longer supported. And I have numerous computers here that are not compatible with Windows 11, but work just fine. So I'm trying them out with different Linux versions on USB sticks and see how they work with that, see what I like. And Linux Mint seems to be on top right now. Other than that, back to net control. W8VPV, KA8WTK.
I didn't realize the end of Windows 10 was so soon. This shows you how far back off the bleeding edge of technology I am. I only about 2 years ago upgraded from XP to Windows 7, which is, well, they're still sending security fixes out, and that's my biggest issue. I don't use a lot of huge functionality there, but I did not realize 10 was going to go off support. I've got a lot of smaller 10-only machines also that are never going to be able to run 11. So, oh well. I'm learning more and more about Linux, playing with Echo Link, so I might have to end up playing with that then. By the way, excellent audio. Your mic tonight, I don't know what you're using, rig-wise or mic-wise, but just solid into the repeater. All right, that's really about everything I've got, and I think I'm at the bottom of my list. We had a lot of in-out, check-ins, so I guess if you're out there and you want to check in, now's the chance. And the big question is, the International Telecommunications Union finally accepted the @ sign as a new symbol in the International Morse Code, and I want to know what day that happened, what year and what day. Do we have any more check-ins?
Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Kilo.
Hey, John, a little bit better. Got you there. Go ahead.
Yeah, just want to say hi to everybody.
Kilo Echo 8, Zulu Papa X-ray.
Zulu Papa X-ray, stand by 1 second. John, I'm sorry, after the first word or two, you dropped right into the noise, and I could not copy that again. You're a little bit more solid into 2 meters, but still very, very noisy. Let me take this other guy, and if you can again move somewhere else, I'm guessing maybe you've got an HT or something there. We'll give it another try. ZPX, what was your call prefix in your name, please? And then go ahead. The ZPX station, I'm assuming you were Kilo Echo 8. Go ahead, sir. Right, nothing heard there. John, give me another, maybe a count to 5. Let me see if I can hear you any better. See if I can catch you on the input. No, I'm sorry. I was not able to copy you, John. I appreciate your attempt to check in. If you can get maybe an outside antenna or a higher antenna or more power, I'd love to hear you on there, but right now doesn't look good. There are plans, were plans in the work to put a receive station down in the Barberton area, but we haven't had a chance to carry through on that. Don't know where that's going to go right now, so thanks for your check-in. And KE8ZPX, we got you in the log here. Please feel free to recheck if you have anything you'd like to add. And I am at the bottom of the list, so let's once again look for check-ins. This is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday night on net.
Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Kilo. I was on UHF, now I'm on VHF.
Oh, much different, much different. KB8 VHK. Yeah, very good copy now. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm just transmitting with a little Bofang V5R that I found somewhere. 30-year no-code tech, just recently joined the Cuyahoga Falls Club. Hoping to upgrade my license to general this year. You know, family got involved and kind of forgot about the hobby, and now I'm getting ready to retire, and I want to take a HF rig with me. And hoping to meet you guys all at the club sometime in the near future, and that's about all I got.
All right, well, welcome back into the hobby, John. Appreciate hearing you doing that. And, of course, we have a meeting coming up this Wednesday at Pilgrim United Church of Christ in Cuyahoga Falls here. If The weather's not too bad. You can make it up here. We'd love to meet you in person. Anthony will be doing a presentation on setting up Echolink on your computer and your phone. As I say, we hope to have Echolink up and operational, certainly in test mode the next week or two, and essentially in operation by late February. And hope to see you down there then. All right, this is W8VPV looking for more check-ins. Station trying. You're breaking through, but I cannot copy it all. If you can move to a higher location, maybe change to the UHF side, see what happens. That's about the only thing I can suggest. Do we have any other check-ins?
WA8RCN.
Okay, and Parma. KE8CBL. WA8RCN. Jim, I got you in there, and somebody else came through and stepped on you on the back end. Other station, go ahead.
Kilo Echo 8 Zulu Bravo Lima, KE8CBL, CJ and Parma.
Okay, ZBL, stand by. Jim, go ahead. W8VPV here.
Okay, good evening, Frank and the group here. Just thought we'd check in, give you another bean for the pot. Not much going on, so don't have much to say, I guess, but thought we'd check in and give you another number there. So, back over to you, W8VPV, WA8RCN.
Very good, Jim. We're near neighbors here. I'm up here on Chart Road where Kellybrook comes in, and got a sister that lives further down on Hawes, so I go past you all the time. But good to see you, good to hear you in there, and appreciate you checking in the net, and hopefully catch you at a meeting one of these days. All right, this is, let's see, next up, KE8ZBL, Parma Station. I didn't get your first name. Go ahead and go ahead and check in.
KE8ZBL, first name is CJ, that's Charlie Juliet, and actually I just got finished installing my first, quote, rail antenna, a 2-meter J-pole up in my attic, and caught you guys on the net. Figured I'd give it a shot. I'm transmitting at about 23, 24 watts out of the radio, and kind of surprised to hit you guys this far. So appreciate you letting me be a part of your net this evening and giving me a chance to try out my new antenna. Hopefully I am coming in fairly readable. I would welcome any feedback. So I will turn it back over to KE8ZBL.
Great. Well, very good. You said J-pole and everything. That antenna is sometimes susceptible of radiating or getting RF back down the cable, the coax, and sometimes your mic is picking it up. There's an unusual distortion on your mic that seems mostly on audio peaks, but you might want to look at putting a balun on your microphone cable, see if maybe you're getting RF coming back in through the mic and creating some distortion on your modulation. If you want to drop me some email later on, my call is W8EZT at cfart.org, W8EZT at cfart.org, and I can send you a link on that. J-pole is an interesting antenna. It's essentially an end-fed antenna on a quarter wave transmission line to do some impedance changes, and it's notorious for getting RF back down into the radio. That might be what's happening, but yeah, 25 watts from Parma, I'm happy. I think if you get that cleared up, you'll be coming in loud and clear then. Any other thoughts, comments?
Negative. I appreciate the feedback. I will take a look at that. Again, I just thank you for letting me drop in, give a test, and be part of tonight's set. So I'll turn it back over to Net Control, KE8ZBL.
Very good. Have a great evening then. All right, W8VPV, looking for more check-ins.
November 8 Whiskey Bravo, Stephen Mobile.
W8KFW, Carl, Nevada.
I've got two stations here. I got the Whiskey Bravo station. Give me the rest of your call and your name.
November 8, Whiskey Bravo. Name is Stefan. Mobile.
I got you, Stefan, and I think I had Carl. Last end of the call was KSW. Give me the rest of your call.
Whiskey 8, Kilowatt, Foxtrot Whiskey. Just checking in for this evening. Back to net.
All right, thanks, Carl. I got the call corrected there. Appreciate you checking in, and have yourself a great week. And there was a third station in there. It was all noise. I could not copy it all. I'm going to go ahead and work Stefan here, and then if you want to give it another try, go ahead. I'll see what I can pick up. Go ahead, Stefan.
Good evening to the group. This is November 8 Whiskey Bravo. I'm just doing mobile from my church, actually, Route 18 in Medina. Heading home, but I heard the net going, so I figured I would jump in. I'll be a one and done. I do appreciate letting me jump in there. And yeah, I would do the same exact thing with the antenna. Take a look at it and do what he was speaking of, and I think you'll have a great communication antenna. J-pole's a nice antenna. It really, really is. And a lot of people build them. My club, as a matter of fact, Sarah, Silver Creek Amateur Radio Association, we had an antenna built last year, the year before, something like that, the fall of 22 or the spring of 22, and we were building J-poles for people who wanted to build them. They built them themselves, but we had the parts and everything, and we had somebody's garage available, and we did an explanation and all that stuff, so it was very good. Good antenna. But anyways, very cool, and I will send it back to Net Control. Do appreciate you letting me in, but I'll be closing out my station in a second when I get into my house. November 8 Whiskey Bravo, back to Net Control, and thank you.
All right, Stefan, appreciate you in there. Don't be a stranger. There's somebody here running the net every Monday night, and good signal into downtown Cuyahoga Falls here, so very good. All right, once again, I'm at the bottom of my list, so do we have any more check-ins for W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday evening, VHF, UHF net? I got Larry, K8PU. I'm going to go ahead and start taking call signs one at a time. Go ahead, Larry. You're breaking up, Larry. Maybe something wrong with the mic cord, or it's not plugged in all the way. You came in for a second and then right back out.
Again, I'm going. Oh, Frank, nothing really going on. Got through the cold, and now I'm hoping for a little warmer weather this week, so we'll see what happens. Other than that, see everybody Wednesday evening, so back to you. W8VPV, K8PU.
Very good, Larry. Yeah, it is going to warm up, but unfortunately it's going to rain up too, and it kind of, I think, is going to sink any hopes for moving trailers around. Which is disappointing, but it is what it is then. Thanks, Larry. Appreciate the check-in. Do we have any more check-ins for the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night UHF, VHF net? Okay, once again, station trying to get in. I can hear you're breaking through the repeater once in a while, but you can't hold. You're not even able to hold it. You're on the 2-meter side. You could possibly try the 440 side, 444 85 110.9 PL tone. See if you can get in there. Sometimes its footprint is a little bit better, especially to the east. Don't know what direction you are right now, but right now I can't pick you up. Let's see. Do we have any other check-ins in there?
KD8OVA, Ken in Ravenna.
KD8OVA, Ken in Ravenna. A new person, at least I don't recognize you. Welcome to the net. Thanks, Ken. What you got for us?
Yeah, it's Oscar Bravo Alpha. No, I just figured I'd check in. It's been a long time. It's been probably a year since I checked in. I don't usually get on on Mondays, but yeah, I just figured I'd check in there and see what was going on. I've been listening for a little bit. The one with the shingles. My wife had the shingles. When she got them, a couple days later, I made sure that I went and got that thing because I wasn't about to go through what she did, and it was quite a while. It was 2 or 3 months before she got over it, and it still bothers her a little bit every once in a while. So you got a little bit to look forward to. Back over the net, KD8OBA.
Boy, you are right there, Ken. I watched 2 people at work get the shingles over about a 2-3 year period of time and decided I was going to get the vaccine because they were in just, one guy said it was just in excruciating pain. You're asleep, you roll over on it, and it feels like somebody is rubbing sandpaper, sanding your skin off. So, yeah, good wisdom there. Definitely get the shots if you haven't already. Shingles is something you do not want to deal with. Well, thanks, Ken. Appreciate the check-in. As I say, somebody's here every Monday night. We'd love to hear from you, and you got a good signal coming in from Ravenna, so must have a good setup out there. All right, WAVPV, looking for more check-ins.
WO3X with a comment.
Hey, John.
Yeah, regarding the shingles, as soon as the first sign of it shows up, go to the doctor and get Valtrex or Zostrex prescribed, and that will stop it. My wife had a touch of the shingles, and but she took that stuff and all she had was one little spot on her upper back. It was maybe as big as a dime, and that cleared up using the I think she got Valtrex. So I'm not sure. There was one version of the shot that gave people the shingles, so maybe they have improved on that, but I haven't gotten a shot, but I did have the chicken pox when I was a boy, so I'm just gonna keep a close watch on that. So with that, back to the net, this is WO3X.
Very good, John. Yeah, like almost every other kid, I certainly had the chicken pox. I did get the single shingle shot, say that fast 3 times, and I haven't had a problem yet, but my doctor told me that they have a much improved 2-shot variant out there that I think you take them 6 weeks apart or something like that, and I'll probably go and get that because from what everybody's saying, and I have to agree, it's an extremely unpleasant thing. It just really impacts your quality of life, and that's important. All right, thanks, John. Let's see if there's anybody else out there, and if not, we'll wrap this up. Watching the band scope, and it looks like 3.827 is pretty much open right now. I got to tune this in when I get done here, but we might be right on our 80-meter frequency at 3.827 tonight. So we'll see what happens. All right, W8VPV, looking for any last check-ins. Right, as I say, we do run a band exploration net every evening every Monday after our VHF UHF net. We have one band that we go to, 6 meters, 10 meters, 80 meters, 40 meters, basically to make sure that your antenna is still up and running, your gear still works, and you can get a decent signal out on there. Tonight's will be at roughly 3.827 or thereabouts, starting at 9:30. It's less formal than this net. Just a quick way to check out your gear and make sure you're online then. All right, any last check-ins? And if not, we'll run through the announcements, wrap this net up, and I'll get a chance to get a drink of pop here before the HF net.
WO3X with another comment.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, next Monday is the 5th Monday of a month, and since it's winter time, on a 5th Monday in the winter time, we will have the band exploration net on 160 meters on or about 1887 kilohertz lower sideband, and I'll be the net control station for both nets that day. Back to the net, this is WO3X.
Oh, very good, John. I do not have a 160-meter antenna, but maybe I can hobble something up together real quick and abuse an antenna tuner and at least put some kind of a signal out there. I'll see what I can do then. Okay, coming up with some announcements real quick. We'll wrap this up. This coming Wednesday is our... Whoops, that's not the announcement page. Where did I put... There we go. Coming up this Wednesday, January 24th, our activity meeting, both in person and Zoom. Anthony will be doing a presentation on setting up Echolink, not only just the mechanics of setting it up, but getting Echolink authorization, because you do have to be a licensed ham to be able to use Echolink, and there's a somewhat convoluted process for getting your Echolink authorization there. As I say, we expect to be adding Echolink capability to our repeater as early as a month from now. We're working on the hardware to get that done right now and chasing down a few bugs, so we're looking forward to that. This coming Saturday, the 27th at 10:30 at the library is a VE session. If you know somebody who wants to upgrade or get their license, here's a good time to do it. Try to be there about 15 minutes in advance. Advanced registration is required. Also, this coming Saturday is Winter Field Day. Google it if you don't know what it is. It's an interesting winter exercise. Again, somewhat of a disaster disaster exercise. February 14th, we've got a business meeting coming up. We want to buy a new antenna for the repeater, but we need to get a quorum to spend some money, so appreciate you being there. And even if you can only make it by a Zoom meeting, I believe those qualify as participants in the meeting. And of course, February 28th is our activity meeting. Check out our website for any changes coming up, but that's really about all I've got. Let me pause for time here. Okay, the question tonight centered on the last or most recent addition to the Morse code character set, and the previous recent addition was actually during World War II, back in the 1940s. So it's been a while, but the symbol, as I think it was Vince identified properly, is the @ symbol. The actual date when it was recognized by the ITU was May 3rd, 2004. So it'll be 20 years coming up this May. The symbol itself is a fairly long symbol. It's actually longer than the characters AT, da, and da. It actually could be seen as a contraction of the symbols A and C. That is dida, da, did, da, did. Dida, da, did, da, did. And so that's basically what that symbol is. All right, that's all I've got. I'll wrap this thing up here, and I will announce the net frequency, the 80-meter net frequency on this repeater right before we start at about 9:28 or so. At this time, I would like to take the time to repeat, in preparing to close this net, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been Frank, W8EZT, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I'll close the net with 19 check-ins and return this repeater to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:15 local time. Thanks, and 73, everyone.
Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, KE8TQR.
KE8TQR, go ahead.
I had to wait for you to close the net to actually get in, Frank. I've been trying since 8:30, but it's been a bear. But I just wanted to give you another one for the record.
Well, I appreciate it. You're coming through loud and clear right now. No problem at all copying you.
All right, and I had the answer, but I had to look it up, so you gave it out anyway. KE8TQR73.
All right, we got you in the log here. Have yourself a great week, and hope to hear you catch you down the page. W8VPV, I'll be clear.
comment.
Go ahead, quick comment.
Yeah, Frank, KHMS. Yeah, hey, good question. Good question tonight. You know, I've been been running CW 65 years. Never heard of it. The AT and all that, and that was interesting for me to hear. But you know, back in the day, before all the you know, the computer stuff, you wouldn't have used the AT anyway.
Very true, and I'm sure that's exactly why it was added, because of all of the email addresses that have AT buried in the middle of them. So, very good. Good hearing you there, Steve. You take care, stay warm, and well, every now and then I still hear you drive past and honk your horn, so always appreciate it. You have a good one. Take care, and hopefully we can catch you on 80 meters tonight. It looks like 3.827 is pretty clear.
Okay, sounds good, Frank, as long as I don't interfere with my wife's TV. Hi. Okay, 7-3 to you, buddy. KHMS.
3 Steve, W8EZT. I'm on a QS wide 80 meters and see what's going on.
You got a 9 on me, don't you? Just a fuzz bear, almost to the mark past the 9. Oh, look out now. They're doing a good job. That's the blackened? Yep. Yes, you're getting through for a while, ain't you? Yeah. Yeah, he'll do 500 all day long. Good deal. Thought about putting
Hello.
Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday evening HF band expiration net will be starting in approximately 6 minutes. This is W8EZT, Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, net to start this frequency in about 2 minutes. This is the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday night band expiration net, ready to start in 1 minute and 3.8 to 8 megahertz. Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night HF band expiration net. My name is Frank. My call is W8EZT, but for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m. Local time, preceded by our VHF UHF net at 8:30, which itself is preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We'll start with some announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has announcements of general interest for the club. Once that's complete, we'll take check-ins. This time I'll work them one at a time. Don't expect to see a lot of check-ins here, so we'll just work right through them and then wrap up the net and repeat the announcements and get on out of here. I had a trivia question tonight on the VHF side of the net. If anybody did not hear the answer and wants to give it a try, the question is, what is the most recently added symbol to the International Morse Code? And pretty straightforward question there. Real quick summary of our announcements. This coming Wednesday, January 24th, we'll be holding our activity meeting. This will be both in person at Pilgrim United Church of Christ in downtown Cuyahoga Falls, and also zoomed in. You can go to our club site and get a link for the Zoom session, and we'd appreciate you showing up one way or the other. Anthony, KZT, will be talking about setting up Echolink. This presentation is being done because we expect to have our repeater set up via Echolink within the next few weeks. This Saturday, January 27th, at the library, we're having a VE test session. If you know anybody that wants to upgrade their license, now's a chance to do it. The testing starts at 10:30. We'd appreciate it if you'd be there no later than 10:15 to get a seat and go through the on-site registration, and advanced registration is required. You can go to our website, and there's a link off our website to get that registered. This is also Winter Field Day, and we encourage any and all hands to participate in Winter Field Day. February 14th will be our business meeting. We need to get a quorum so we can spend some money in a new antenna for the repeater, and February 28th will be our activity meeting. All right, that's all I've got. Let me get to a news page here, and we'll take check-ins. This is W8VPV on 80 meters. Go ahead looking for check-ins.
K8HMS.
All right, I got K8HMS. Good signal in there, Steve. Do we have another one?
WA8RCN.
WA8RCN. Man, all over the band scope here. Of course, that's my neighbor. All right, stand by. Next.
K8WTK.
Bill, we got you in there. WTK. Do we have another one?
WO3X, Whiskey Oscar 3 X-ray.
Got you in there, John. Do we have another one?
Kilo Echo 8, Yankee Tango Golf.
KE8YTG. All right, I got 5 here. Let me work these. We'll get another 5. Back to the top. Steve, K8HMS. Good signal. Go ahead.
Yeah, WAVPV in the net, K8HMS. Yeah, Frank, boy, you're booming in down here also. Really sounding good. So, yeah, not a lot to report. Just glad I can get on 80 meters here, you know, like I've mentioned before with my great big 60-foot long wire. And good to hear Jim in there, RCN. He must be getting some of his antenna set up there and stuff. I know the last time I talked to him, he had kind of just moved in over there and was trying to figure out, you know, setting up antennas and all that. So, and yeah, I didn't know. I think you said your sister lives over there on House Road too, Frank. I didn't realize that. Other than that, I guess that's about it. Like I say, good to hear you and the other guys in there. W8VPV, K8HMS.
Very good, Steve. Yeah, I have a sister who lives there. Unfortunately, it's down. Haas Road kind of dips down, so she lives down in a gully here. I'd convinced her to put an antenna up there, but it is what it is. And, all right, next up, speaking of Jim, WA8RCN, go ahead. Or WA8RCN. I'm sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, very good. WA8RCN. Say hi to everybody, and you, Frank, you're pinning the meter as usual, right? You could probably, well, I wouldn't say throw a stone. You're down there a little ways. I know where you are in the chart. I've been by your house a couple times, and like you've been past mine, you know. You're welcome to stop in any time. You know, you're coming down this way. And yeah, Steve, we got the antenna tower up, and that's it. We got the antennas all set to go. They're all in the backyard, all over the place back there, and you know, with the cold weather coming in the fall, and I had a lot of things I wanted to get done in the yard, and decided that I wasn't going to get them done if I don't stop working on antennas, and so we kind of called it quits in the fall. And it's probably a good thing we did, too, because we had a few supply chain issues, and guy that did the coax screwed up the coax and put the wrong connectors on, and I had to ship everything back, and, you know, I just took time, and by then it was like frosting out, so I just said, you know, climbing these towers for 50 years, and it's no fun when it's cold out, and I'm just not doing it. I'm getting older, and, you know, I'm not going up there when it's, you know, 30 degrees. So anyway, although we used to, when I had that big 4-element cubicle quad and a 30-foot boom, we used to patch some wires all the time. We had that thing for 28 years up in the air. Probably ought to go in the World Guinness Book of Records or something for having one up the longest, I guess. And that's about it. We're getting back outside doing some things now. It's warmed up again, and the sub-zero temperatures are gone, which is great, and those 50-mile-an-hour winds. those weren't the best here either with all the trees we got, and we got branches down and everything else. It's going to be a horrendous cleanup in the spring here. So, all right, back over to you, W8VPV and the group W8RCN.
All right, thanks, Jim. Jim, boy, that must have been one heck of an antenna system. That could be a picture in a newsletter someday. Very good. Yeah, I had a lot of trees down through a big storm last summer. I got started cleaning them up and ran out of time, and got to get the chainsaw out there again and continue cleaning them up. So at least I'll have a lot of firewood. Appreciate that, then. All right, next up, Bill, KAAWTK. How you doing?
W8VPV, KAWTK. Doing pretty good tonight. Warm up, about 33 degrees outside. Quite nice. No ice starting here yet. I hope it doesn't do too badly. Comment for John, 03X. I didn't get to the doctor in time to get the pill, the antiviral. Didn't do much good. Your wife was very, very lucky. Other than that, not much going on. So, back to net, W8VPV, KAWTK.
Very good, Bill. And, yeah, my doctor kind of put the fear in me about this disease. You can get it in the eye, and that becomes a real issue. You can end up losing your eyesight over something like that. So shingles is nothing to mess around with. I've got to get my other shots, and I got to do it in the near future. All right, next up, John, W03X.
Yeah, good evening, Frank, and all on the net. This is W03X. Did Bill say that the antiviral did not work?
That's what I heard for him. I think he said he didn't get to the doctor fast enough. So maybe there's Paxlovid for the COVID. You got to take it within a day or two of the onset of the symptoms.
Break?
I heard a break in there.
Yeah, KAWTK. I was there within 3 days, and it did not help. That's what I said.
All right. Sorry about that. Did you copy that, John?
Yeah, 3 days and it did not work. Okay, well, maybe I'll look into the shot then. The radio that I'm on here, on the 40-meter net last week, I'm using my Vaiju G90. And what's funny about that is everybody sounds the same. I guess it's the AGC or whatever, but everybody's signals sound the same. Same signal strength. Well, maybe not the same signal strength, but everybody sounds the same. It's amazing. It's this little radio. It's only 5 inches wide, 9 inches deep, 2 inches high, and it has a little screen on it. It has a built-in tuner and all that kind of stuff. So I won that. I won the certificate for it at the Maslin Ham Fest a couple years ago. So I sent the card in, and then the thing came quickly afterwards. So that's the story on that. And so I am going to do the winter field day. So what I'm doing right now is looking up some coordinates for it. I'm going to use, there's a geocache like directly north of that parking lot, about 300 feet. So I'm going to use geocaching. There's an application, geocaching. It's not Project GC. Oh, it's Geocaching Toolbox to get the coordinates for that parking lot. And then because last year when I did it, they were off by a couple of streets. So I'm going to give them more accurate information for that winter field day operation. So with that, I'll say 73 to you, Frank. Oh,
That radio thing that I sent you an email message about. Don't bother anything about that. There's a pending sale on it. So with that, now back to the net. This is WO3X.
All right, sounds good, John. Got that on the radio, TF, I think 590 SG or something. But understand that, and oh well, have fun on Winter Field Day. As I say, I think the weather kind of last minute thaw and all the water in my yard is going to make moving trailers around. That's one thing that when I get my house done, I will have a concrete pad that the trailers will sit on, and I'll not have to worry about mud in the yard anymore. Thanks, John. Appreciate the check-in. Let's see here. Next is KE8YTG. I didn't get the name. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Frank. This is Steve in Stowe. You're coming in at 5:20 over 9 tonight. Real strong signal. I just wanted to say that I'm really enjoying the open bands the last few days, making a lot of contacts. But and I'm also looking forward to the Ham Fest. There wasn't any mention of that coming up in the future. I signed up to volunteer at that, but I haven't heard anything back. So anyway, this is KE8YTG 73. Back to the net.
Very good, Steve. Yeah, I saw you on the list here before, and I should have connected name and call sign. Sorry, I fumbled that. Yes, we've got you on the list of volunteers, and there'll be more information coming out in the near future on that. But thank you much. That really makes our job a little bit easier then. All right, I'm at the bottom of my list, so let's see who else is out there. This is W8BPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night band exploration night. This evening we're on 80 meters at 3.828, usually about 1 kilohertz above where we normally are, but certainly a good place to be. Do we have any more check-ins, local or whatever? All right, I'm not hearing anything, so this might be near the end of the net. Let me go ahead and repeat the messages and put out one more call for check-ins, and we'll wrap this up and call it an evening. Coming up this Wednesday, January 24th, 7:30, is our activity meeting. This is both an in-person meeting at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, downtown Cuyahoga Falls, corner of Broad and 2nd Street, and also the meeting will be Zoomed, so you can participate in the meeting in real time via Zoom. You can find the link for that on our calendar webpage at cfarc.org. We'd appreciate you showing up. This week, Anthony will be talking about setting up Echolink, the process for getting validated to use Echolink, because it is limited to amateur operators only, and then how to install software on both your laptop and or your phone for using Echolink. We're doing this in anticipation of having our Echolink link to our repeater up and operational within probably another couple of weeks. I've got it breadboarded here, and I just need to shake down some software issues, and we should be good to go. So that's why we're doing that. Coming up this Saturday, 10:30 at the Cuyahoga Falls Library is a VE test session. You know, anybody who wants to upgrade or get their license and they are ready to go, by all means, they do need to sign up. They can sign up in advance. They must sign up in advance. The link is off our website, cfarc.org, so make sure they're signed up, and hopefully they can arrive by about 10:15 to get a seat and get enrolled and everything. This weekend is also Winter Field Day. If you're interested, by all means, go ahead and look it up. We're not doing anything formally this year, but individually, I'm encouraging any and all hams to give it a shot. And we've got a February business meeting on the 14th, Wednesday, and the activity meeting on the 28th. Don't have a topic yet, but we will find something. So that's everything I've got. Do we have any last check-ins? And if not, we'll go ahead and wrap this net up.
November 8th, Sierra Mike Hotel, Steve in Akron.
Okay, I heard a hotel station in there, down in the noise, but give it a try again. Let me take down an amp. Was there another station in there, down in the noise? something right. All right, in preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been Frank, WADZT, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, we'll close the net with 6 check-ins, myself included, and return this frequency to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 9:47 p.m. with 6 check-ins. 73, everyone.
Now, Frank, this is WO3X. I thought I heard Sierra Mike Hotel, but I didn't get the beginning. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Okay, the Sierra Mike Hotel station, let me see if I can hear you. Go ahead, try it again.
Okay, this is November 8th, Sierra Mike Hotel. How's this for 50 watts? I only had 25. Is this any better?
Okay, I got Sierra, Nancy 8 Sierra Mike Hotel. I think I heard you say you were operating 50 watts. I'm about 70 watts here into a 43-foot vertical on 80, so not an efficient antenna at all, but appreciate you checking in there. Yeah, go ahead and give me your name, first name if you could.
Okay, this is November 8th, Sierra Mike Hotel, Steve, located in Akron. 73 to all there. Have a good evening.
All right, Steve, I got that. Appreciate the check-in, and thank you very much. That's our distance check-in for tonight. All right, I will be clear. This is W8VPV. Have a good evening, everybody.
Universal Time.